Tonight we're talking about a female dating expert, she calls herself a dating expert, who claims that dating in her 30s is better than when she was dating in her 20s. And this article is from the Zoe Report, and it is actually titled, "Why Dating in Your 30s is Actually the Best, According to Therapists and Those Who've Experienced Firsthand." And no surprise, the front cover of this article is of Sex and the City. These girls from Sex and the City, basically these thoughts, these like damaged goods over 30, like running around and just riding the carousel. That is her motivation for staying single in her 30s and celebrating it, is watching Sex and the City, apparently, according to this profile photo she has here. But I will include the link to this article below, as always, in my comment section. It will be at the top of the comments in my pinned comment, so you can click on this article yourself if you would like to have a good laugh. But let's go ahead and dive into this, and let me go ahead and pick it apart. So, why dating in your 30s is actually better, according to therapists and those who've experienced firsthand. As the rules of society have evolved, thankfully, so have the rules of dating. So already they're starting with the woke SJW speak. As the rules of society have evolved, as we have become crazier, and men have become women, and women have become men, and we have 64 different genders. Ooh, the rules of dating have opened up. Actually, no, dating will never change. It's always going to be the same, no matter what psychologically challenged individuals are out there roaming around. Millennials are statistically getting married later or choosing to not get married at all. In fact, the 30s are now widely considered the beginning of the prime dating years. Thank you, Sex and the City. She literally said this, guys. What did I tell you? If you click on this article, you're going to have a good laugh. Thank you, Sex and the City. Well, according to relationship experts, relationship experts, dating in your 30s and beyond presents some real benefits. I've got to hear this. I find that people have more clarity with what they want and what they need in their 30s as opposed to their 20s, explains Dr. Hernando Chavez, probably the only male that they quoted in this article because he was touting their wokeness. A licensed marriage and family therapist. FYI, guys, never trust relationship therapists, marriage therapists, or family therapists. Why? Because overwhelmingly, they are going to be women. They're always basically going to have the woman's back, right? They're always going to have her good intentions presiding over yours, right? Yeah, they're always going to have her back, guys. They're just never going to be on your side. Don't trust them. Don't go to them. They're never going to give you good advice. Overwhelmingly, they're all female, and like the 1% that are male are either gay or they're woke, right? They're not going to give it to you straight, because no manly man, no masculine man who can give you clear, logical advice is ever going to go to school to become a relationship or a marriage therapist, you know? I mean, every once in a while we might have them, but very rarely. I think John Gray, who wrote the book, Women Are From Mars, Men Are From Venus, he was kind of like a licensed therapist, but he was definitely not woke. He was actually pretty good. I enjoyed his book. Okay, so you have a better understanding of what makes you happy and qualities in a partner that complements you as you mature as an individual. As I tell you guys, a chick just becomes more set in her ways, and she is no longer open to yours. She's just become too independent at that point, where she's beyond, you know, just understanding how to function in a two-person relationship. And this is why a lot of times too I call them damaged goods for that reason alone, is they can't function in a normal relationship. It's always about me. It's got to be about me because I'm used to doing things this way, so you got to do it my way. It's like, no, you know, there are two people here, not just you. There are two of us. And I told you, one of my exes around the mid-2000s actually like blew a fuse because I said that to her. She was being a little too selfish, a little too narcissistic, all about me. And I just finally said, you know what, girl? There are two people in this relationship. It's not just you. It's both of us. And she got mad at that. It was a fair statement, and she blew a fuse. Oh, what are you talking about? What? Dr. Valerie Chuba, a clinical sexologist, sex educator, and host of the Get Smart Sex podcast, also weighs in on why dating in this decade is better. As a woman, dating in your 30s can be a great deal more enjoyable and satisfying than dating in your teens and 20s, she says. Most delusional statement ever. Let's go on. By then, women begin to care less about what society thinks of them or what they should be doing and begin to focus on what's really important to them. Keyword here is them. Me. All about me. What have I told you guys? And this chick is saying that dating in your 30s is more enjoyable and satisfying. How is it more enjoyable when you can no longer get the chads? When you can no longer get those high-value guys that you did back in your 20s? How is that more enjoyable? Now that you have to settle for the beta provisioners and the low-value men that don't light your fire, that don't get your hormones pumping. How is that more enjoyable? All articles like this where it's a woman over 30 who's writing, oh, it's so fabulous, 30 is a new 20, so great to be dating in your 30s. These chicks are totally delusional. They're basically coping, right? They're coping. They're just coping. So yeah, this just talks about you have a better understanding of who you are. Those evil men, that's really all you understand when you're still single after the age of 30. You just grow more and more angry at men. Start blaming men for more things. You start getting brainwashed by more feminist propaganda. You start becoming more hostile towards men. And then you equate that to getting to know yourself better. No, you've just been brainwashed. You've just been feminized. You've just been indoctrinated. Okay, you don't know yourself better. You know yourself worse. Because now you're out of touch with your biological need and instinct to mate with men and love men and embrace men and support men and encourage men. Instead, now you're like, oh, I hate men. I'm challenging you. I'm going to challenge you in the world. I'm going to get a better job than you. I'm going to make more money than you. I'm going to fact check you. You know, now it's just, you're just a bitch. Now you're just a damaged single female biatch, right? And no guy wants to deal with that. For a number of people, our 30s is a period in our lives where we look to create balance, manage mental health concerns, focus on self-care, and deepen our social relationships. This can create happiness in our lives and helps fill the voids that we didn't realize existed in our 20s. This sounds like it would be more true for men than women. They're talking about women here clearly, but this is more true for men than women. Lena Minervino, a 38-year-old development director and single mother, surprise, surprise, single mother, right? Like most of them are over 30 and still single. 38-year-old single mother of three kids, hopefully they all have the same dad, says a shift in perspective completely changed her dating life. My dating habits continued to be similar until my mid-30s when I took a long, hard look at who I had chosen to be in relationships with, she calls. So much about who I had dated had a lot to do with my insecurities, making bad choices in partners, and lack of self-care. Fueling her self-doubt was the fact that she had children from a previous relationship. As a single mom to 3 kids, I used to be insecure about sharing my story, she admits. I worried about what my dates would think. And you should. She said she was insecure. Yeah, you should. Because most high-value guys will hold that against you. Even low-value guys will hold it against you. But definitely high-value guys, the type of guys that all you girls want, are going to hold that against you. They'll be like, what? Kids? Huh? Where did this come from? Deal breaker. Deal breaker. Especially if he's already had sex with you. Done. Alright, no high-value guys going to want to commit to that. But Minervino's confidence began to build when she started putting herself first. Surprise! What have I told you guys? All of these women over 30. Gotta put myself first. All about me. All about me. The sad thing is this woman has kids. She has not 1, not 2, but 3 kids. She has 3 children out of wedlock. She's a single mom, and she's still talking about putting herself first. Who should she put first? She should put those kids first. She should put those kids first. That's who should be first. But what is she talking about here in this article? Gotta put myself first. Me, me, me. Me, me, me. Me, me, me. That's a single mom's favorite note. That's a damaged woman's favorite note. Me, me, me. That's why you're still single, girl. You're always going to be single. You're never going to be able to hang on to a man. You're going to be single into your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s and beyond because it's about me, me, me. Takes 2 people. to be in a relationship, right? 2 people, especially if my dumb ex is still watching right now. Takes 2 people. And it's not just about you. Takes 2 people. So here she is, like a total DG over 30. Oh, it's about me. Why do you think I encourage you guys to go out with women who are younger? It's because they haven't reached that tipping point yet where they have become the DG, where it's become all about me. Me, me, me. Me, me, me. Me, me, me. Instead, it's about us, us, us. Us, us, us. Us, us, us. All right, let's roll on with this article. She landed a great job, got into a healthy routine, worked through some issues with a therapist. Another red flag, another major red flag. What have I taught you guys about dating women who see therapists? Red flag, guys. Check her medicine cabinet. If she has Xylex and Rylex and all these antidepressant drugs, she's on Ritalin or whatever, red flag. Don't walk, run. Run, run, run. Run, Forrest, run. Because these chicks who see therapists always have emotional baggage. They always have issues, mental issues, psychological issues. They're always depressed. They have mood disorders. They have BPD. They're seeing a therapist for a reason. I mean, even my ex, like towards the end of our relationship, started seeing a therapist and she became worse. This chick became worse. She became more narcissistic. She became more egotistical. I remember her therapist gave her an exercise to write on this like blank sheet of paper, write 25 times, I am a good person. I am a good person. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. So she was doing this and I remember going, just because you write I'm a good person doesn't make you a good person. I'm like, in order to be a good person, you got to go out there and be a good person. And she was like, what? What do you say? I'm not a good person. You know, she just like flew off the handle and like blew a fuse because I said that. But there goes the narcissism, right? There goes narcissism. Red flag, women who have therapists. And usually it's these women who are over 30. They're trying to get confirmation bias, basically. Just like my ex, like she was like, my therapist says I'm a good person. I'm like, yeah, your therapist says that because she's swiping your credit card. So she's going to tell you whatever you want to hear. But you know what? I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Not what you want to hear, which is what I wish more men would do. But let's continue on with this article. The work I did and continue to do for myself, the self-care I make a priority in my life, and making sure I have a life outside of being a mom has been key, she says. Dude, you cannot be a mom part-time. That's basically what she's saying here. Oh, I want a life outside of being a mom. No, when you're a mom, it's full-time, baby. I take care of Cash and Gizmo. That ain't no part-time job. That's full-time. That's full-time. Okay? You have a kid. 3 kids. You're taking on a full-time responsibility. And to do anything less is selfish. Selfish. Right? And I see these single moms out there. Oh, gotta go clubbing. You know, you see these single moms at the clubs, right? Isn't it annoying? You're like, oh, so what's your story? She's like, oh, I have kids and they're at home. Like, your kids are at home, you're here at the club? Why? Why aren't you at home? No, I gotta have a life outside my own. Right? Then you see this chick leaving the club. She's got a brand new Beamer, top down, or a Benz. And it's like, how come you have that car and you have kids? Are you well off? Are you rich? No, I just have a job. I'm like an accountant. You have a brand new BMW? What about your kids? You know, so yeah, that kind of stuff, just the selfishness of single moms are just mind-blowing. But let's move on with this article. Dr. Chuba notes that mature women are not only better at identifying their needs, but they're more equipped to take action, qualities that many women are still developing in their teens and 20s. No, basically what you're saying here is that women just become bigger loudmouths, identifying their needs. Yeah, they just become more entitled, more unrealistic, and more delusional. And you see these type of women that she's like touting here in her article on dating apps. You see these women in their 30s, their 40s, right? The DG, never hang on to a man and have kids out of wedlock. This woman has 3 kids. I guarantee she's on these dating apps that you guys are on. And she has this laundry list of requirements that you must fulfill in order to contact her. You must be this height, this level of education, this type of job, make this much per year, be this good with kids, love animals, live in this hemisphere, be willing to relocate to where she is. All of these things You must like pizza on Wednesday nights. You must like fish. You must like seafood. You know, all these requirements for you. Most guys are just not going to sign up for that. That's why these chicks stay single and they just become more and more angry towards men. And then the feminists see that and they're able to get their hands on them and turn them against you. This is why women, as they grow older, beyond the age of 30, they grow further away from men, further away from God, and closer to government. Government becomes their new man. Government becomes their boyfriend, their daddy. These politicians become their new God. You ever notice that about leftists? That because they don't believe in God or they've moved away from God, they make their politician their God, right? Like, oh my God, she was reaching his arms out like this. It looked like a Messiah, you know, like a miracle. It's like, no, dude, that guy is just a man. You don't worship the creature, you worship the creator. It's always hilarious how these chicks grow closer and closer to government and politicians as they get older. They can't get a high value man anymore. It's their own fault. They're reading articles like this. Many women are still developing in their teens, like good communication skills, ability to advocate for themselves and ask for what they need and want, healthy boundaries, assertiveness, emotional maturity. Assertiveness, that means ball breaking, okay? That's woke language for ball breaking. Breaking your balls as a man, emasculating you. That's assertiveness. I'm a woman. He, she, you know, whatever the pronouns are these days. But emotional maturity, my ass. All these qualities become more available to women by the time they reach their 30s. It's basically saying that these women become more masculinized, bigger ball breakers, they get louder mouths, and less feminine. Does that turn you on so far, fellas? Does that turn you on? In my college years, I settled, states April Cohen, a 38-year-old realtor. So there's another chick. While she's dated plenty of people who are not right for her in years since, basically they're saying she rode the carousel. I cut them off much quicker than when I was younger. So this chick, 38-year-old April Cohen, realtor, is admitting that while she's dated plenty of people who are not right for her in years since, that means she slept with all these guys practically. She rode the carousel. I cut them off much quicker these days when I'm younger. So she's still sleeping around. Only now she doesn't get into relationships with them. They don't become her boyfriends. She just has sex with them. And then they're off. Yeah, great material, guys. Great relationship material here. 38-year-old woman who has slept around with dozens of men. Now she continues to sleep around with them. She just cuts them off much quicker. This sounds like the mother of your children. This sounds like a good woman who will raise your kids. Yeah, don't go for those younger women who aren't damaged yet, who haven't, you know, rode the CC. Go for this much older woman who has all this emotional baggage and growing anger towards men. Actually, she talks about this. Although both Cohen and Minervino have grown less tolerant of anyone who wastes their time. Less tolerant? Less tolerant? That's hilarious. That is total, like, leftist language right there. Less tolerant of anyone who wasted their time. They're also more open-minded when it comes to dating. I used to be wickedly selective and had this perfect man in my head, Cohen reveals. But she says that in retrospect, that was a hindrance. You never know who a guy is going to turn out to be. You just have to give it a date or two to really figure it out. Worst case scenario, a bad date will help you either figure out what you want and what you don't want, and the confidence that the right man will come along, Mervino adds. To have dated different types of people as she becomes more self-aware. Not only did it help bolster her confidence, she explains nearly 3 years of just dating with no intimate relationships was the most empowering experience I've ever had. There goes that word again, feminist talk, empowering. It's hilarious because she basically admits exactly what we talk about here on the 33 Secrets channel, exactly what I get hated on for saying by so many damaged women who are just like her. She rode the carousel in her 20s, and now that that ride is over, she is trying to find a high-value male in her 30s. And the unfortunate realization that a lot of these females come to once they hit their 30s is that that ride is over, you can't get back on, and none of those guys want you anymore. I see a lot of my female clients in their 30s dating casually for a while before focusing on finding a permanent relationship. Dr. Shuba points out, what matters most is that you have clarity about both who you are and the kind of relationship you're looking for. She said it again. I see a lot of my female clients in their 30s dating casually riding the carousel for a while before focusing on finding a more permanent relationship. She just said it again. Ride the carousel throughout your 20s, girls. Ride that carousel, and then in your 30s, focus on finding a more permanent relationship. Then coming to the stark realization that, oops, I can't get the high value guy anymore because I don't look like my 20-year-old self. I can't get that guy anymore, and now I'm stuck with these beta provisioners that I'm going to poison drip and be hostile towards and be passive aggressive towards for the rest of their lives because I didn't get the high value guy. So I'm going to take it out on him because he can't duplicate the emotions that the high value guy gave me. I've taught the girls on my channel. In your 20s, you have two choices, ladies. In your 20s, you have two choices. You can either ride the CC, ride the carousel, or you can cash it in. So you could either ride the carousel or cash it in. Ride the carousel or cash it in. And unfortunately, the girls who end up in these articles, who end up becoming the DG over 30, are the girls who chose not to cash it in, but to ride the carousel. Okay, you have to get off that shit at a certain point early while you still can. It's very much like gambling, because I've been doing some gambling out here in Vegas, and you know, when I travel to Nevada, and whenever I hit something big, whenever I come away with a pretty nice large sum of money, a nice jackpot, do I stay on the machine and keep plugging away? No, I take my winnings and I leave. Okay, take my winnings and I leave. I might go play another game, might spend a little bit more, but for the most part, I will leave a winner. I will leave a winner. I will get off, right? I will get off the carousel and I will leave a winner, as you should. Do not stay on the carousel, because staying on the carousel, it's like staying in a casino. The longer you stay in, the more you will lose. Period. Okay? Period. We're coming towards the end of this article. You're less likely to settle. Often maturity brings a new set of priorities. When the proverbial timeline is no longer a factor, you can focus on the relationship as opposed to the milestone it represents. I'm not as focused on checking off the list, getting married, or finding my soulmate, says Marvino. My freedom, alone space, feeling confident and comfortable, attending events alone are things I never thought I would enjoy. Even dating without labels, enjoying the time I spend with people, being present and not thinking too far in the future is fantastic. She's basically admitting that she's become a hoe. She's become a thought. She's become a cougar. She's just become a cheetah, a jaguar, whatever they call them. She's just the DG. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is DG. She's past that tipping point of 30 years old where she rode the carousel too long, she's had sex with too many guys, she's lost the ability to pair bond with a man, she's lost the ability to function in a normal, healthy relationship with a man where it's two people, it's not just about you. She's lost that ability. Just the way she's speaking. These are all red flags, guys. So when you hear a woman talking like this, beware, beware. Oh, my freedom, my alone space in my home, feeling confident, attending events alone. She should just be alone, right? She should just be alone. It sounds like what she wants to do is be alone, do her own thing, but casually date guys and get banged every once in a while because she has like sexual needs. So that's essentially what she is. That's why we call them DG. Okay? That's why we call them that, guys. Because they are. They are. You didn't cash in your chips in your 20s. You didn't have that fulfilling family life, and you became the DG. It's very, very hard to escape after the age of 30 as a female to not becoming the DG, because you have so much peer pressure from society, the mainstream brainwashing, feminist propaganda to tell you like, oh, you don't need a man. Oh, all about you, girl. Live for you. Be you. Be you. Do you. All this other freaking like Nike bullshit. No, that's not how reality works. You'll be a miserable you, because at night you still have to go to sleep. You still have to face yourself in the dark, and a lot of these women are miserable. And then they make government their new husband, their new daddy, their new partner, and it's really sad. They make politicians their god. They just lose their femininity. They lose their womanness, if that's even a word. So yeah, she's just basically talking about becoming a hoe. Now you're just a cougar hoe. Cohen, who was formerly married in her 20s, agrees. I'm in no rush to find that person because I really want it to be right. Going through a divorce is not fun. I hope to never go through that again. She'd like to find her forever man. Are you my forever man? Eventually, but until then I keep dating until it clicks and we are both 100%. So she's like, I'll have all the fun writing all these random cocks I'll have all this fun until I find that forever man, that sucker beta male provisioner who will take my used up vagina with 100,000 miles on my vaginal odometer. It's spinned around, got over 100,000 miles, sleep with so many men, and now you're the winner. You're the winner. No, you're DG. I don't want you. You're tainted. You're tainted. Right? You've got like dozens and dozens of sperm DNA from dozens and dozens of different men all up in you, hiding in different places of your body. I don't want that. Okay? That's gross. That's nasty. That's dirty. And then people wonder why I date women who are much younger. Why I date women who are in their 20s. Not only because I can, but because of shit like this. And she's actually proud of this. Literally. I mean, this article is her like just, oh, my womanhood. I'm embracing my womanhood, my sluttiness. Sad. Sad. These chicks are just so lost. So lost. In addition to refusing to settle for a partner, women who date in their 30s are less likely to settle for perceived societal expectations. It's important that your choices are based on what you truly want and need, rather than societal pressure, other people's expectations, anxiety, or fear of being alone, reminds Dr. Shuba. We make our best choices when we feel calm, centered, and confident about our self-worth and value. No matter what kind of dating experience you're trying to create, do it with the mindset that you will be successful. You've slept with hundreds of men. You will be successful. You will find that high-value guy. Pathetic. Talk about unrealistic expectations. I mean, she's like literally selling them a bill of goods here. It's important that your choice is based on what you truly need rather than societal pressure, societal expectations. You mean to be a happily married woman and with a family and not a single mom with multiple kids. So this is just more woke language. This is more woke speak. I mean, beyond this article, guys, I want you to be very, very aware of this type of woke language that's trying to brainwash you, trying to desensitize you to all of this like bullshit. So just be careful of that. Just be careful of that. You're going to see a lot of that, especially over the next 4 years, baby. You're going to see a lot of this wokeness because we have the woke party in office right now. I'm not for the other party either, but at least they're not promoting like wokeness on this level. So, with that said, go ahead and drop your comments below. This is M from the 33 Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified not only whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on YouTube, but also whenever I live stream on YouTube. Okay? That's why you want to make sure you're notified, because whenever I live stream, I don't really announce it, I just go live. So if you're notified, you'll find out right away. You'll get on your cell phone like, M is going live, baby. I gotta jump on. And then you'll get to ask questions. So make sure you hit the notification bell as well. And obviously, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Obviously, they don't like promoting this type of content. They just don't. So I need your help by subscribing to my channel. It helps me out a ton, and I would very much appreciate it. And for you guys who want to support all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I am teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I am teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s under the age of 30. 8s, 9s, and 10s, the hottest and most attractive looking women out there. Same type of women that myself and all of my coaching students all around the world now are out there approaching, closing every single week. And I kid you not, every single week we make this happen regardless of what virus is going on, any racial division, any new president coming into the White House, right? We are making things happen, and we're continuing to grind and live our lives and pick up the hottest women out there. And this is the absolute best way to support my work. And right now, the first month is only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lesson from me. So take advantage of it. This is $1 for the entire first month. And all you need to do Real easy to get signed up. Just click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. Peace. I'm out. Just like a rap video.